Let's see. Hey. Good morning. This is Candy. Hey, Candy, how you doing? Good morning. I'm glad you made it back. Um, Tell me, did you take action on what we talked about last time? Let's check here. Candy, I'm still trying to set up my stuff on Instagram, so bear with me just a second. Hey, Candy. Candy, can you hear me? Let's see. Okay, it says, yes, please take your time. I know I really want a first of many deals. I looked at for sale by owner properties on Zillow and then put in PropStream. Not really good matches. Okay. So Candy, the reason I told you to look at for sale by owner properties on Zillow was because I knew that you could call them. You know, these are real sellers that want to sell. And if you know how to comp and underwrite, you can offer them a wholesale offer so that you could try to get a deal done. Most likely they're not going to want to do it, but if you are good at convincing them, persuading them by saying that you're going to close quickly and it's cash and they don't have to keep, messing around on Zillow, then, that's a reason why they could go with you. So that's uh that's the reason why I told you to look at for sale by owners. I mean, you know, anybody could have a price up, right? It could be $1 million, right? But if you offer 500,000 and they take it, then it doesn't really matter. So like, don't really care too much about what the price is. Always make sure that you underwrite the property to make sure what it actually is worth it to you, and then offer that. That, you know, does that make sense? Perfect. So Candy, yeah, I mean that's that's kind of the reason I told you to go, call for sale by owners, because you can start to get to know what kind, like, the the sellers that you talk to, right? The kind of sellers you talk to, and yeah, you can always make a deal, so that's what I would do. But did you pull a list on PropStream already, or not yet? Okay, so it says some were trusts and bank owned. I gotcha. Okay. So what I would say is there's a filter on PropStream that you can filter by individuals. So if you're gonna you know pull a list, make sure that it's always individuals and not trusts and banks, because it's really hard to get their contact information to contact them. And yes, you can share an address. Go ahead. Okay, I got it. So you want me to underwrite it, or what do you want me to do? What do you? All right, let's see. So it's 1605. This looks like a good property. It looks like it needs some work. Looks pretty terrible. Needs a new electrical box. It says management equity conversion. So this is actually a foreclosure property. Um, it looks like a bank owns it, right? So you know you could possibly you can definitely do a wholesale deal on this. Let's see. So it's active at 140. Let's see. So let's see. 1976. 1956. This looks good. It looks renovated. So we put 250 here. This was also renovated, but it has dated cabinets, so it's not a full remodel. But it looks like there's still some paint there and stuff. So looks like they didn't do the cabinets, but they cleaned it up pretty well. Sold for 225. So let's see, 1276. 76. Probably needs 57,000. Yeah, so for this one, I would offer anywhere between like $80,000 to $90,000. It's a 4-3. Hey, what's up? The CEO. So, so Candy, when you go to my calculator, so for example, It says the property is 1,276 square feet. What you do is you grab that square footage and you put it here in the rehab calculator. See right here? You put it in there, and then you figure out what kind of rehab it needs. So I'm estimating that it needs a full rehab plus some big six. What that means is like maybe it needs a roof or HVAC or hot water heater or plumbing, electrical, any of these. And so it comes out to $57,000 at $45 a square foot. So it's a it's a good way to kind of get an idea of how much it would cost for someone to rehab it. So yeah, that's kind of how you can you know figure out the repairs. And so you just plug in the repairs, and then you have the you have your contract price there. Your wholesale fees $15,000. So at a good price to sell this property is at 100,000 to an investor. That's the right price to sell it at. They have it at 140. It's not too far out, but um, so I would offer anywhere between $80,000 or $90,000, if that makes sense. What up, the CEO? How you doing? Welcome to the show. We're just working through some things here. If you have any questions, we're just underwriting a property right now that Candy found online. It's a foreclosure that's active right now, and it needs a lot of work, right? So we're just underwriting it. But if you have any questions, go ahead, feel free. Obviously, let me know what if you need any questions, any let me know if you need any answers, to any questions. I got you. So yeah. So if you want, Candy, you should make an offer. Say, hey, I'll give you $80,000 cash, and I close in 21 to 30 days, and yeah, I would offer that, and just ask them to give you a 2-week inspection period, and then in those 2 weeks you want to basically market the property to another investor so that they can do all their so they can go see it and all that, and then you can get paid. If you got it at if you sold it if you got it at 80,000, that'd be a really good deal for someone. You can sell it at 95. They'll make $68,000 roughly. So yeah, that's what I would do. And yeah, if you get the contract, let me know. Maybe I can help you find a buyer for it, and we can do a JV. So that's kind of how it works. Hello. What? Someone else joined us. Welcome. We were just underwriting a property. We were underwriting 1605 Middle Tree Road. We got a dispo price of $95,000. Contract price to seller at $80,000. It's listed at 140. So it's been listed for 17 days. So who knows? Um, might be worth making an offer at $80,000. $80,000. So look, it says multiple offers received. Highest, let's see, 1 and 2 bedroom, wooded views from backyard, attached 2-car garage, wraparound porch, waiting for your personal updates and finishing touches. All info is approximately and estimated. Multiple offers received. Highest and best due by 4/18. Is that That's April? Huh. Looks like they might have already sold this, because it looks like the they were open to offers up until April 18th. Um so yeah, it's May 1st today, so maybe they've already sold it, but who knows? Maybe it's still on the market. But yeah, so you guys have any questions? Ask me anything. Ask me anything. I couldn't get the Instagram to work, unfortunately. Not sure why, but we'll figure it out. I think the Facebook group is working. Yep. Yeah, Candy, you should definitely reach out. Um, I'd reach out, make an offer, and see if you can wholesale it. Whenever it comes to like property, it's is always about the price. Like someone might not be interested at 140, but they may be interested at $80,000. Like it changes things. So I would make sure to offer what works. But yeah. Uh in Illinois. Let me check. So Illinois, let's see. I've used Embora Title. Let's see where they work. Locations. Yeah, so I would use Empora Title. Empora Title is a good title company. They work in these states. So you know, they're good. They're investor friendly, and I've used them before. So yeah, they're good to use. I would use Empora Title. They work in Indiana. Wait, you're in Illinois, right? I'm sorry. Um, let's see, Illinois. You know, I don't know if I've done Illinois. So what I would do is Illinois Title Company. Chicago Title is really good. I've heard that they're a big title company and they do things very well. I don't think I've used them before, but um, they're pretty good. So I would use Chicago Title. Chicago Title sounds like a really good title company to use. You always want to make sure and ask them these questions. So you always want to ask them these questions right here. How do you vet them? Do you work with investors? How many investors do you work with? What percentage of your business comes from investors? Are you comfortable with assignments? Oops. Do you have an assignment contract? Do you perform double closings? Do you write title exceptions? Are you familiar with working on probate deals? Do you have an attorney on staff? Do you offer discounts for multiple closings? Who will be my main contact person at the title company? can I get the contact person's cell phone number for after hours communications? So these are always good questions to ask. And you just want to make sure that they are able to work with you, and they are investor friendly, and they do perform assignments. They A lot of the business comes from investors, and they're able to give you someone's contact information, so that you can stay in touch with them about your deal. These are some questions to have. So yeah. You're welcome, Candy. That's great. Um, do you guys do you guys have any more questions? I know there's someone else watching, so please let me know if you've done your first deal. How can I help you? Let me know what what you're doing. What are you up to? What do you want to do? We're about 30 minutes into this right now. We got to keep the questions coming. We got another third person. Hey, what's up, man? Welcome to the live. Let me know what kind of questions you have. Um, I want to answer them. Let's stop the screen sharing. Okay, here we go. So, you guys have any more questions? Let's see. Let's see. What do you guys want to know? I'm here. I'm here for you guys. I'm here to tell you what I'm doing. So, yeah, I made $22,000 last month. It was supposed to be 30, but my deal got pushed because of some title issues. We're working on it right now, and it should close this month. It's also my birthday month. I'm turning 28 in May 13. So I'm excited for that. Um, what else? What else, guys? Um, I'm looking to expand my team. I'm looking to hire, two people, so I could grow my operations. I'm currently doing about 20,000 a month, 20 to 30, by myself on my own. So, okay. Let's see if no one else has a question. Yep. Great question. So the most accurate information is going to come from your seller, right? So let's say we're looking at the property that you just gave me, right? What you're going to want to do is, usually it'll tell you here, it'll tell you in this page, it'll say taxes due for last year. So um it'll tell you what the property taxes are. Property taxes $5,500, etc. So usually, you get some information there. But the best way to know if um if the if the taxes are due, or if there's any back taxes, essentially, is by asking your seller. You got to ask them, hey, do you have any arrears? That's what they call them, arrears. So do you have any tax arrears? Do you have any mortgage arrears? And that gives you, an understanding of what kind of situation they're in. And you really want to understand, are they not paying their taxes? Are they about to, are they going to lose their house, etc. So it kind of gives them you're going to get that information from the seller. The seller is going to give you that information. You're going to ask him, do you owe any back taxes? And then uh, he's going to say, yeah, I owe $2,000. Okay, great. Well, you're going to have to pay for that at closing because I'm not paying for that, right? Because those are back taxes. That doesn't really fall under the buyer. It's the seller, right? So that's what I would do. Usually it says, there's back taxes here. It says like, people owe back taxes. And Candy, you're May 7th. That's pretty awesome. I'm glad that, we're Taurus babies. Um, so yeah, it's gonna be great. I think I'm gonna throw a little party on the 17th. Um, so I can enjoy myself with some of my friends. But essentially, yeah, that's what I would do. Just ask the seller, but it usually tells you on this page. It will say if the taxes are due, you'll see like, okay, taxes are, there's 2022 delinquent taxes or 2023 delinquent taxes, and that's how you know if the taxes are, are backed up. So I'm gonna share this with you guys. Share screen. So Manny Koshbin, this guy right here. Let's look him up. This guy, he's hella successful. He has a lot of cars and stuff, et cetera, et cetera. But he talks about success. He came up with a program, called Contrarian Academy. Iron Woodland. Yes, I am targeting both residential and commercial. So I wholesale residential, but I am looking for deals in the commercial space. So currently, I'm looking for value add in the medical office, retail space, and mixed use. But I'm open to also looking at other kinds of asset types like, mobile home parks, RV parks, industrial storage, and even multifamily. But the first categories are really what I'm looking for. But I may not pass up a good deal in the other sectors as well. And so what I wanted to want to share with you is essentially this is the kind of properties that I'm looking for. You know, if you guys come across any commercial properties um, that are like 60 to 85% occupancy, even 30 to 75, below market rents and these cosmetic improvements, um, 1980s built or newer, you know, I'm looking for some properties like these, right? So if you happen to find any properties, I'm happy to, look at them, give you a finder's fee, uh, and essentially, just do the deal together, right? Like, I mean, not do- like get the deal done, so you can get paid. So yeah, Iron Woodland, are you in commercial real estate, or are you or residential? Like, what are you trying to get into? Come on, guys. I'm only here for a short time, so let me know. Give me some questions in the comments, or let me know what you want to, get taught. Get taught. Happy to share my knowledge with you guys. Hey, Candy, if you're there, if you have any more questions, feel free to jump in, ask away. And Woodland, I also, encourage you to ask me some questions. Um, let's see. We've been residential vacant land for the last 2 years, branching out now to do commercial deals like quick service restaurants. Okay, so you are building, is that correct? Um, I like the quick service restaurant space. I know that's so I looked at some statistics, and it looks like a lot of retail is closing down, but there's still a lot of more growth. Like, I think for every one retail property that closes down, um there's like two being opened up. And so what's really doing well right now is the quick service restaurants, kind of like the Subways, the Taco Bell, the Jack in the Box, the Checkers, all those kinds of commercial real estate tenants are doing really well, and they're expanding. So yeah, I think that's a really good space. I personally don't know much about building commercial real estate. I do know someone that has built commercial real estate. Let's see his name. I'm gonna pop him up here. So on Onyi Adenukwe, he's a commercial real estate investor. He owns Glow Tanning, um, which is like a spa franchise. But he has a real estate course, that he talks about how he basically builds from the ground up. So if you check out, I think you got to DM him something. But it's a great course. I watched it. It's free, and he talks about how he's building, retail, like a single unit, single tenant retail properties, that to put in, tenants in there, to put his own, or to put other tenants in there. So that'd be a good resource for you to check out. But that's really interesting, man. That you're doing that. I would say the one of the most important things is like finding the tenants. So another good thing, another guy that I talked to um, is Sharif. This guy right here, Sharif Medawar. So I interviewed him recently, and this guy, he basically what it teaches people is to find vacant um single tenant retail centers, and you put them under contract with a 45 due diligence period and like a 45-day financing. And essentially what you do is he has a list of tenants. Like he has a national credit tenant list of like 5,000, people. Um, I don't know how many there are. It's got to be a lot, but with all their contact information. So if you are to, you know, find a single tenant space that they're selling for, what you do is you put it under contract, you start dialing for, trying to find a tenant. And then if you get a tenant, to submit an LOI, then the bank will loan you the money to purchase the building. And let's say you're buying the building for $700,000, right? Because it's vacant, right? But it's in good shape. As soon as you put the tenant in there, because of the lease and the credit tenant, right? The cap rate is very low, and so the building becomes worth 1.4. So you make like 700 grand or 600 grand, right? Right off of that. So that's something really good too. I think he charges like $5,000 for his thing, which is where he gives you the the tenant list and contact information. I'm pretty sure you probably could get it online. For less. I'm sure they sell it for less. But he also gives you a proof of funds, right? So these are just resources you can use, to do what you're doing. Let's see. Buying land or empty buildings, doing improvements and flipping the notes, etc. Like finding an empty Burger King, getting a deal done with a better performing brand. Yeah, yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I was talking about. That's really cool, man. Have you done any deals already? Have you, you know, like have you completed any deals? We'd love to know, or hear about the deals you completed, because because it's a good space, So yeah, I'm interested in knowing more if you actually if you did a deal already. Hey, Iron Woodland, if you could message me on Instagram, we'll love to connect with you. I'm gonna put it here. I'm gonna put my Instagram here. So yeah, if you could follow me on Instagram, Iron Woodland, that'd be great. Or just email me. You can email me, Julian@joinrei.com. Yep, yep. I think let's see. Candy says I found this yesterday on Zillow, but I couldn't get it to pull up in PropStream. Let's try to find that out. So in scenarios like this, um, what you got to do is just like put it on Google, and essentially you got to find it. There's 83. It's up here. It's 435 right here. So it looks like it's like on a double lot. So yeah, just got to check the address. It's 437 Hoxie Avenue, but as you can tell, it's the same. It's the same property. Looks to be a duplex. Looks like it was renovated though. I mean, it looks like it still needs some carpet. Huh. This definitely needs to be painted crazy red. But MLS. $203. Iron Woodland, you've done two so far. Average spread is 6 figures, but lots of data work, finding the right locations and traffic for the tenants with credit and backing that can pay the rent we're targeting. Fun though. Yeah, man, that sounds great. That's awesome. That's a 6 figure payday for sure. Yeah, so here's the property. It was for sale by owner on Zillow. No, this is not for sale by owner. This is this is most likely by, let's see. This is also by a bank, so this is a foreclosure. So, yeah. Iron Woodland, you should definitely hit me up either via email or Instagram. We can chat a little bit more about what you're doing. Always love to learn, always love to see, but yeah, I mean, you got to know what it's got to be in a good location. Always, the properties always have to be in a good location. So um yeah, that's very interesting. It's funny how you ended up there. I wonder like what kind of journey you went through to get there. So yeah, guys, we got like 5 8 minutes. We got like 7 minutes left, and then I got to start work. So let me know if you guys have any other things you'd like to comment on, or any questions, any advice you want, like whatever you want. You know. Uh, Candy. Banks do sell these properties. Yeah. So obviously the bank is trying to recoup as much money as they can, right? But they're also not in the business of holding real estate, right? So sometimes you can get them to sell the property, pretty quickly if you come up with a strong offer. Like if you say, hey, um, well, yeah, they will accept a wholesale deal. As long as you show yourself to be a credible buyer. You say, hey, I can close, in 30 days. I want a week or 2 weeks inspection period. I'll close all cash, etc. You know, you can always get proof of funds, from a company. Like you just look online, like proof of funds letter. Let's see what pops up. I think doubleclose.com. If you go to doubleclose.com, they'll give you a proof of funds, for whatever property. So yeah, I'm actually gonna do one right now. It's May 1st. Julian Castle. Oh wait, I'll do it later. But yeah, I got to get a proof of funds. So yeah, they usually do. So anyways, guys, we're coming to the end of the live. If you haven't already done so, follow me on Instagram. That's where I post, most of my content on a daily basis. I have a bunch of reels, you know. Um, and check out my YouTube channel. I also have a lot of podcasts there with successful real estate investors. And yeah, if you want, join the newsletter as well. I'm gonna put the newsletter here as well so people can watch it. Um, join the newsletter. Um, go there. Sign up for the newsletter. You'll get some emails. I'm currently working on getting more emails out there that are higher quality. You know, that help you on your journey to get your first wholesale deal or for your first commercial deal. So essentially, get on there. We send out some emails. You'll be notified if I ever go live. For example, I haven't really I haven't promoted it. I might be going live on Saturday at like 1 p.m. To do live calls of like me talking to sellers. So if you're interested in that kind of stuff, go ahead and sign up for the newsletter, and then we'll send out a link, for you to go watch live. So that's really cool. And yeah, that's what I would do. I would do that. So yeah, it's been great. I will catch you guys later. Email me, DM me, whatever, however you need help. And yeah, we'll see you tomorrow. I'm also thinking about possibly doing these in the evening, maybe around like 8 p.m., 8 p.m., for about an hour so that more people can join, because obviously, 8 in the morning Eastern time is only good for the people that live in the East Coast. So the people that are in California or, Central time, it's rough. It's rough. It's rougher for them to get on because it's a little bit earlier for them. So, um, so I'm gonna check that out. I'm gonna see, when I could do it, because I also want to do things consistently. So yeah, I would just sign up for the newsletter, check that out. We always send notifications there, and obviously join the Facebook group. If you haven't joined the Facebook group, I mean, most likely you guys came from the Facebook group, but the Facebook group is facebookgroup.com/groups real estate group online. If you join there, you guys will be with a bunch of other people. We have about 190,000 plus members in there, and you can ask questions in the group. Other people will answer them, and essentially you can learn from other people, as well. So it's a good resource, always great. And it's always great to chat it up with you guys, So I will be Yeah, talking to you guys another time tomorrow. Okay.